Gabbie Hanna.
Stop it.
Look, the whole drama that she keeps just pushing out there for the sake of, I don't know, relevancy, that's kind of what I ignore, but there was something that she said that just kind of really got under my skin, and then she wonders why she's seen as the bad guy in her situations when she tries to paint other people out as bad, but then the proof says otherwise. And recently she talked bad about some people on some show, saying they mistreated her, this, that, and the other, and were the reason that she got back on her eating disorder. And then everybody on that show came back and said that wasn't what it was. You were just being very diva-ish, it sounded like. She wanted specific things and all this, that, and the other, and then when she didn't get it, she just kind of complained like a regular diva would. But it was the statement that she made about her behavior is what I'm here to talk about. She basically put out the excuse that, oh yeah, and I only acted that way because of my ADHD and autism. Now, I don't know if you know, because I don't just throw this out there a lot, because really it's just some private business that, you know, I don't necessarily need to throw out there all the time, but I am autistic. I have ADHD. I also have anxiety, and I have Asperger's as well. So you know that I have a tough time concentrating, and it's not that I can't listen, it's just that I need stuff very simplified for me to understand it better, and I need to be able to do it hands-on for me to learn quicker. And yeah, I do find myself having outbursts sometimes, but since I've had or been diagnosed with all this since 4th grade, I've been able to control it a bit better. I feel like that's the reason, you know, I had anger management back in the day, which again has gotten better over the years. Thank goodness I've learned to control it a lot more. But she's trying to throw the sympathy her way by saying, oh, because I have this, what do you call it, learning disability, mental illness, and I don't mean that in any bad way. Again, it's just that this is something that does mess with you mentally and is an illness in some way, and she's just throwing that like she can't do no wrong because she has this stuff, and I'm just sitting there like, Gabbie, no. When you have this stuff, you have to adjust to things differently. You have to learn to work with it, because this isn't like a sickness. It's not going to go away. It's going to stick with you for your whole life. And yeah, as a kid, you might not be able to control it as much, but as you get older and become an adult, you find things that you're able to do that will, you know, control this and all this other stuff, and you learn different things in different ways, and it becomes easier for you, which is, again, is what I've done. I've had this since I was 8 years old, almost 15 years, so, you know, I've been able to adjust a little bit better. And yeah, I've made some mistakes in my life. I think we've all had. We've said and done things in our lives that we look back on and say that was really dumb. But I'm not going to sit here and blame it on my ADHD or my autism, because I have those things. So if I just blame it on those things, then that makes it okay. Like, Gabbie, you're painting the wrong picture here. You really are. Like, I don't know why you're doing this. Well, I know why you're doing this. Your music isn't doing as well as you want. Your YouTube's not doing that good. So to stay relevant somewhat, you have to come up with this false drama that seems to be happening every single month. At least that's what it feels like this year. And you always have to paint everybody out as the bad guy, when really you just can't realize that you're the bad guy at this point. And when there is a story that comes that you tell that ends up being true, it's just going to end up being like the boy who cried wolf. Nobody's going to believe you, because the 100 other times you said this and cried wolf, this, that, and the other have been false. And the one time you're going to be, you know, telling the truth, nobody's going to be on your side. You've burned those bridges. Yeah, you'll have your yes men and women behind you, because I assure you, you have a lot of those, or else you wouldn't be acting like this. But I don't know. She needs help. That's all I really have to say. I don't want to sit here and insult her or whatever, because God forbid, but she just seems like a person who is just very divish, can't take constructive criticism, and there's definitely some mental issues happening. I don't want to self-diagnose. A lot of people are saying she could potentially be bipolar, and yeah, but I don't know. I just think she needs to find someone to get her help and steer her in the right direction, because really, if we keep giving her this attention, things are only going to get worse for her. I mean, did we not learn from the whole Britney Spears debacle back in the day? I mean, all these news outlets that were talking shit about Britney back then for shaving her head and having this mental breakdown are now supporting her in her fight against her father, and they're being called out for being hypocritical because just, what was it, 14 years earlier, they were like, oh my god, Britney Spears, she's a maniac, she's a psycho, and it's just like, you can't just turn the corner like that. But this is what it's reminding me of. I mean, granted, she's doing it to herself, but commentary channels, just stop at this point. I don't care if your whole channel's purpose is to make videos on stuff like that. Some people are just trying to get attention, and if you give them that attention, they're going to keep doing the same thing, and you're going to keep making their mental status worse. Every time I see it, that's what happens. And with her, it's just this constant pattern, and then these channels talk about her, she comes back with something, even though, I will say, a lot of those channels don't chat shit, they give her constructive criticism, and again, it just feels like she can't take constructive criticism. I know, Gabbie, it sucks when someone tells you that what you're doing isn't good or isn't right, but take what they're telling you, and turn it into something else. If they're telling you one of your music or one of your songs isn't that good, take it, rebuild it a little bit, and combine what they had with your idea, and maybe it'll work. You know, sometimes it works out. You can't just expect to be handed things 100% or be told, hey, that's good, keep doing what you're doing all the time, because it's not going to happen. You got to realize that you being an internet celebrity, not everyone in the world is going to like you. You're going to have your supporters, and that's great. You're going to have your haters who just are going to hate the stuff you do. And yeah, you will have those comments that are like, kill yourself, and you know, all that, the internet bullies. But those are the ones that you should just report and ignore. We don't need to hear about them every single time. I clap back at them with comedy just because it shows them that I don't care. But it seems like you can't do that, so just... I think it's better if you just log off the internet for a good bit. Don't even do music. Just kind of get the help you need, contemplate where you're going, and come back strong. Because I really want the best for you. I really do. But right now, you're just not helping your cause at all. And saying that statement that you did is just making everybody else who has ADHD and autism look bad. Because it just makes us out like we're these like assholes who can't control being an asshole because, you know, it's just the way we are, when that's not true at all, Gabbie. It's not. We can control what we have, we just have to learn how to control it and what to do when something starts to pop up with it. Other than that, that's about it. That's all it is. You're making it out like it's just this like thing that just you get a free pass to do anything you want, and that's not it, Gabbie. That's not it. But yeah, that's basically all I want to say. I don't want anybody sending hate to anyone, so don't go to Gabbie's page, and because she's going through enough. She's already going through enough, and we don't need it to get worse. And I wouldn't have talked about this if it wasn't for that statement. Like, I could give a shit that she's getting into more drama with other people that she probably hasn't seen in years, but once she said that comment about the ADHD and the autism, it was just kind of like, alright, don't play it out like that's what it is. Like, you gotta realize that your attitude could most likely be the problem as well, and some people can learn to fix their attitude, but some people you just can't get through. But I don't know. Just find help. Get help and come back stronger. That's all I would say to her at this point in time. So, yeah. That's it for me. Stay safe out there. And until then, I will catch you all in the next one.